Activate. Activate. Toast.
Captain Picard.
Really?
The actors kept going to set B for headshots on the last Thursday of every month, but Beverly she'd have signed up in every time slot.
God, Gates.
Sorry.
How many headshots do you need?
All of them.
Little did she know she'd be doing the con circuit for 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bread and butter.
I think I've been to enough conventions to know how to spell Melvar.
Very nicely done.
Hi, Alex.
Yes.
Never been done in sci-fi before. It was one of a kind movie.
That's true.
Insurrection.
It's like a
Fine,
cocoon
guys.
mixed
Fine.
with batteries not included.
Worf shows up. Picard says, "Worf, what are you doing here?" And he goes, "Well, and they immediately cut him off and give no explanation. Picard goes on to something else, then he turns back to Worf and he's like, "You're going to stay with us for a little bit, right?" And then he turns to someone else and he's like, "Geordi, inform DS9 that Worf will be coming on an adventure with us." That's it. That's all the explanation he gets.
He's literally got it like a bag of dry cleaning he was just passing through. Now they're in the van. They're on their way to Vegas.
All right. We ready to go?
Yo.
Yeah.
You find yourselves settling in for the evening, camping beside a river. Who's preparing the meals?
I nominate Ibrahim. He promised us a owl bear barbecue.
I don't think I know how to cook either. I didn't know how to carve it, and I don't know how to cook, but I love to learn.
Moth's like, let me show you how to do that. You obviously don't know what you're doing.
I don't need you to
Yeah.
fireball my sticks, okay? I can figure it out.
Pitch, as you look over at the group here, you see the world's most inept cook trying to cook while the wild man and the gnome from the Underdark are comparing weird shit from their bag that they're going to slather onto said meat.
I'm already eating the meat that I cooked with my breath.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So I am unconcerned.
A small armful of fresh, ripe apples.
I will put one in Hootie's mouth.
Owlbear don't want to be fed. Owlbear wants to hunt.
You guys find yourselves bellies full, sitting around the fire. Any stuff that you guys want to advance while you guys are here?
Haas is extremely curious as to the origins of that black ooze.
Verdun pulls out his spear. This weapon is magical. It comes from another plane of existence. We first came upon the spear in the ruins of an old church out in the bogs near Skadmire. We were faced with an open portal to another dimension through which the spear was launched at us.
What are you doing there?
Pardon me?
What are you keeping there that you're always fiddling with?
These are my personal belongings.
You seem so suspicious about them.
Yes, and what happened to your hair, Moth?
Oh, I hardly even noticed. I suppose it was claimed by the ether?
This magicks of yours seems to have changed lately.
What is this ether?
The ether. I'm sure it would be far too complicated for me to explain to laypersons such as yourself.
I know of magic. I do not know of the ether.
Perhaps if you pray to your deity, they shall deign to enlighten you.
I know of spells, different spells than you. Less evil ones, certainly, but still spells.
Evil? Evil?
I
Nothing
trust
about
not
me is evil.
your suspicious fiddlings and your dark ethers, and I don't trust you.
Well, we often distrust what we don't understand.
Perhaps you would enlighten us, String Bean, thus that we could understand. Pitch, Burdan?
Pitch is going to wipe his mouth with the back of his hand and just say, "Look, if he wants to use crazy magic that turns him blue and makes him lose his hair."
How are we to know? How are we to know that we soon will not wake up without our hair?
What of this head bird, String Bean? It would seem unnecessary for you to keep secret head bird from us.
He starts to dig around, and he pulls out a book. This is the secret thing that has happened to me. It's troublesome, it's dangerous, and it requires effort, and And frankly, I don't see why I need to explain much more than that to any of you. As far as this little thing, and he kind of like holds his finger out so that it hops and lands on his finger. It was entrusted to me to deliver to someone in Grimstar a very important message.
You sound as if you speak true. I believe you when you say you don't think you are dangerous. However, I am not convinced you aren't.
So, Berdan, the evening presses on. You finish up the painting that you're working on as the dusk light fades and night sets in proper. And you find your eyes sort of drawn further and further up into the stars. You sort of feel compelled to give your celestial book another glance.
I'm going to put my helm of reading languages on and open the book to look upon the words.
You feel that the concepts imparted by the constellations that are depicted on the book and that which form the narrative, they're more animated than the last time that you read it. The ideas are beginning to swim over you. The images are more vivid. The characters seem to be more real. You see Uduth standing before you as if he were lit by the very fire that warms your feet now. You watch in a detached manner as he raises this curved blade up to the side of his head and cuts his ears off and tosses them both into the flames. And then he begins to pour an amber liquid into the glistening holes that are on either side of his head. He begins sinking into a blanket of luminous pearls which cover the forest floor at your feet. And as he sinks out of sight, his hand reaches out and grabs your ankle. With a sudden terrible lurch, you feel yourself pulled down. Berdan is just snoring loudly with this helmet on and the book open on his lap. Searing pain cascades through your skull as you feel heat expand through your head, down your neck, and shoot out through each of your extremities. It feels like fire out through your fingers and toes. Excruciating pain. Back in camp, the evening, the sound of the crickets and the leaves rustling in the trees, the crackle of the campfire is pierced as Berdan starts screaming in the top of his lungs.
Pitch is going to walk over and try to take the helm off his head.
Berdan, you see Pitch standing above you, looking down at you. Pitch, would you say with concern?
Relative to Pitch, yes.
It's more of like a, come on, man, what are you doing?
Pitch, you notice that Berdan's left eye is purple and has a luminousness to it, a glowing purple iris.
Whoa.
Dude, what did you do in your dream?
I stabbed myself in my dream.
Your eye is glowing now. Maybe you should talk to Moth about whatever magic business is going on.
Does it still hurt?
No, there's no pain whatsoever. People ask you some questions and you give a couple mute responses, and after some glances from the party, they kind of get the sense that you need to think and you need a bit of space as you just take this in. You lay for a good while before sleep eventually takes you, and you sleep a deep and dreamless sleep. You know what? Now would be a good time for bio break then.
Do it.
Dude, everybody's tripping out.
Toss comfortably reclines and looks at the stars.
Pitch.
I'm going to keep a silent walk around the perimeter of our camp.
At one point, you hear the flapping of heavy leather wings off in the distance.
When Pitch wakes me up, I'm going to ask, anything happen on your watch?
Just dragons flapping off in the distance.
The dragon was about?
Yes, but it was some miles away. It was nothing.
Okay, so Berdan will continue to stand guard until until his shift is basically up at this point.
So Girder, as you get up and Berdan goes to bed, you find Moth pacing around the inside perimeter of the camp with his nose buried in a book.
What do you have there?
I believe it's my spell book, actually. If I'm understanding the experiences I just had correctly, I believe I've graduated my night school.
Like you wizards. Girder's gonna hawk a bit of a loogie, a morning loogie. Have you made anything of that crystal that I gave to you?
Oh, yes. This. Take out the limpet and look at it, almost like fondly at it.
Curled up inside the limpet is the tiny little man. The tiny little naked man stands up and like bangs on the side of the limpet again.
Well, it's just let me know what you make of it. Should you study it?
It's so wrong.
I assume we will probably be visited once again by our winged guide. We should probably get back on the road.
So you guys strike the tent, you break your camp down, and the party sets off, continuing overland towards Grimstar.
We
Yeah.
should have a discussion about whether or not we should seek the aid of Girder's girlfriend.
Berdan is going to stroke his beard and thought for a moment and say, I am not against it.
I can perhaps summon her with a thunderclap with these sweet bracers that Berdan gave me.
Did you just go for it?
Yeah, why not?
Just like in the middle of all of us.
Okay, yeah, so everybody everybody but Girder roll a constitution saving throw as this loud thunder shakes out through the hills. Numerous birds take off from the trees around you. One bird flutters away and then comes fluttering back and lands on Girder's shoulder.
I'm going to be like, hey, what's up, man? Is there any way you could put us back on our path?
I can show you the way. Where are you going again?
Well, we were going to Grimstar.
What's that?
Big place.
He starts flapping up into the air and goes, yeah, I got it. The bird eventually leads you to a path.
Pitch is going to say, it feels like we've been trying to get to Grimstar for years. Let's just get there.
Personally, like me as the player, if you guys want to go slow, that sounds good. Moth,
Shut up,
the
Ishii.
character,
God damn it.
however.
You don't belong here, Ishii.
Yeah, get out of here, Ishii. I want to hear what Moth has to say. So you guys enjoy a nice little roadside meal. And then press on. You guys eventually come to a split in the road.
Oh, we got to keep to the high ground, fellows.
Sorry, I'm just making soda. I'm going to mute for a sec.
Seems so good.
Nice.
I can
That
almost
was really good, guys. Wow. Luckily, Berdan, off in the distance, as you guys are coming around one of the corners, you hear footfalls.
Big ones?
Mm-hmm.
Berdan's going to turn back to the rest of the group and point at his ear and then point to where he thinks those footfalls are coming from. I've been hearing those since my watch.
They sound closer now.
Moth's gonna draw his wand.
Pitch, check it out, why don't you then?
Yeah, Pitch will go scout up ahead.
Beyond that blind turn, ahead of where the party is, you see 4 large hill giants that are ready and waiting. They're waiting for you.
I am not into that. We're not going that way. We need to go way around.
Girder grabs the ashes from a burned leaf of mistletoe and a sprig of spruce. So as you clap your hands together in the ash, this veil of shadows and silence. So I want everybody to make stealth checks for me. As a party, you guys make it around. You draw a far arc around the waiting ambush. So you guys continue on with your travels, leaving the hill giants behind you. The light is getting lower in the sky. Yeah, you find a very well protected little campsite. You can actually tuck your fire right back into this little wall and have a very, very well concealed fire that you would not be able to see from the road. I guess we'll call it a break there for the evening. Good role playing tonight, guys. Great work.
Yay!
Yeah,
Yay!
good stuff.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Okay.
Nice night.
Nice.
Don't eat that food!
Don't eat it! Don't eat it! Oh, it's poison!
Why do you eat
rice off the floor.
Catch you in midair.
Why are you eating rice out of the air?
Love you, bud.
Sweet dreams, Ish. Talk to you soon.